What's up, everybody? This is Reese from C Manga, and welcome to my review of Fairy Tail Chapter 450, the one and only in this world. And oh my god, what a damn saddening chapter, man! It's like so much sadness going around. So I guess in a way, I was kind of right with the whole Mavis accidentally killing. I just got kind of the rest of it, oh, a little bit to a lot wrong. But yeah, I really did enjoy this chapter. Admittedly, it was a little dark, but overall, it did shed a lot of light into, the past and everything. So, from the top, it was nice to see that Mavis was actually the one who named Makarov. But remember, Zeref did kind of warn her that the more she loves, the more the curse will kind of end up killing. So anyone she loves, they'll kill. So all that love for seeing that the newborn baby boy kind of like activated her curse powers in a way. This in turn ended up like killing a weakened Rita as she held her hand. So you even saw it in the chapters. Like Mavis was a bit kind of reluctant to hold her hand, but then she did it anyway, and then you kind of saw it in the actual panels. It just looked like it kind of drained her life force. It's like a lot of you are probably wondering like, oh, how come Makarov didn't die? When she held him. But my thinking with that is basically the curse is kind of like working at a weakened state in that point. At that point, it was only obviously because Rita was already weakened from childbirth that it kind of drained the last of her life force. It kind of makes you think like this whole thing is that the curse is getting stronger and it works on a little kind of a emotional level. So the more emotional stress that they go through, the kind of more powerful it becomes. My proof of that is obviously well, you and Mavis is there running through the forest. It wasn't exactly like destroying everything in her wake until the point where she tripped over the root and then dropped to the floor. That's when boom, everything kind of got destroyed. So yeah, that's when like all the life force around her dried up. So that's my thinking with this. So after this, she ended up like aimlessly walking around the forest for like the next 6 months. With Zeref soon finding her sitting under a tree, kind of completely, I want to say phased out, but it's not really phased out. She's just like blank, not there that much anymore. She's just been wallowing in her own self pity for so damn long that she's just broken basically. Um, but the next part obviously is Zeref talking about the Anchor Saram. I think that's how you say it. The curse which they've basically got. And you know what? It really did start getting me to think. Because obviously, like it says, they can't die from starvation, they can't die from dehydration, they can't die from natural causes. They're obviously immortal, and apparently, even Zeref said himself now said, "Oh yeah, you can't die from getting beheaded." That one there was a strange one because I'm there like, what beheaded? So my thinking is at one time they probably tried to behead Zeref. It's like, I'm not sure exactly how to picture that. Maybe his head got cut off and then it just attached back, or maybe the axe broke. I don't actually know what the hell happened with that bit, but I'm definitely thinking that the people who tried to execute him got killed by the curse. That must have been the one thing. Obviously, oh wait, of course, it was obviously in that chapter where he was talking to what's his name, where he was basically like reflecting on his past, and we found out about Natsu. They did. I think he did say at that point in that chapter there that they tried to kill him with beheading and shooting him, stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, obviously after that goes kind of on to talk about the demons that he created. So obviously Ma, Deloria, Franmarth, and the rest of them. But the most interesting part is when he finally talks about how he's went on to create the Alvarez Empire. And why his curse isn't exactly killing everyone who's there. It's because he doesn't see them as people, and he sees them as objects. He's talking about them like it's a chess game. It's like, oh yeah, they're all my pawns. They're just like valuable pieces. So I guess that there is kind of the trick to the curse. It's like if you don't really see life, you can't affect it. It's a bit strange, but maybe that's how it is. After this, obviously you got Mavis. She's there looking at him. She's starting to get freaked out because as he's talking, he's kind of starting to contradict himself, saying that he loves it, then he hates it. He wants to see his brother. No, he wants to destroy his brother. And from that, she's kind of deducing that maybe the curse also affects the brain. So maybe after a while, you start devolving into madness where you just don't know what's going on. Kind of a bit of a just like it's a bit of a confusion. A bit of a dementia kind of to it. And that's basically when things start to get a bit more hot and steamy and intimate. Alright, so you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I actually really did enjoy this part. After them sharing a little embrace and kiss, Mavis ended up dead. I know, it's like, what the hell? Those were supposed to be immortal, but like they're saying, There's a simple explanation for it. The power of love ends up like taking away the ones you love the most. That's what this curse is all about. It takes away the ones you love the most. So my thinking is that their two curses were basically fighting each other. Obviously even, so it wouldn't do anything to each other. That's why they've been fighting around each other. I said each other quite a lot, I know, but at that point there, I'm kind of guessing that Zeref's love kind of overpowered Mavis's. So he loved her a lot more than she loved him. Sounds bad when you put it that way, but the difference is literally kind of like a 51-49 split. So that literally, that little kind of split right there, doesn't sound like much, but it had a big effect. Probably that was the thing that ended up like taking over. You got the whole 50-50, that took over, boom, took out Mavis just like that. So next chapter is when we're going to be finding out about Fairy Heart, and I'm thinking that the whole reason that Zeref is actually waging war is not to kind of kill everyone around him because he's angry. It might not, I don't think it's like that weird anger side to him. I think it's actually the side of love. He actually wants to get Mavis back, so he might be able to revive her. Maybe he's thinking that because she's immortal as well. The little technique he tried to use to revive his brother may work this time. The thing which gave him the Ankashram curse, something like that. Maybe that's my thinking at least to it, because I don't know. After seeing this chapter here and the way those two always interact, I knew there was something going on between them. Especially after reading Fairy Tale Zero and everything, there was a deep connection between those two. So it kind of does make sense that this is what's going to be going on. But damn, I really, really did like this chapter. It kind of didn't go exactly how I was expecting, and I'm guessing the next chapter will explain a lot more, like why she's in the crystal form. But for some reason, I'm kind of thinking that Mavis isn't actually dead. Maybe in like a coma or something. Only because obviously, her astral form is going around, and if she's dead, how could she be using magic? But maybe another thought could be maybe it's a side effect of the whole the curse and everything. It's kind of making her not. It's making her be able to kind of use that power, something strange like that. I'm sure it will get explained. But one more thing is, I'm kind of also wondering, when was the point where Mavis appointed a second master now? Because if she seems like she's dead, what is going on there? Unless she actually is dead, but then she's using the astral projection form, and then oh gosh, the second master guy, I keep forgetting his name. I just know he became Hades. Maybe he ends up finding Mavis's real body, and then that's when it's like everything kind of devolves into madness. They realize that, oh my god, Mavis is actually dead, but she's here this whole time. No, this is her astral projection form powers. This is her body. Zeref tries to take it. He fights back. A lot of crazy stuff is going to be happening very, very soon, and I am really excited for it. So either way, you know what? Roll on next chapter. Let's see what you've got. So that about ends it here from me, guys. Usual thing to do at the end of these. Let me know what you thought about this chapter in the comment section below. And as usual, don't forget to check out our things to do on the channel. So I'll see you next time.